Alright guys, so with the new PvE tier list updated for Butter Roll as well as Caramel Choux, it's about time for us to update the PvP tier list. And of course, this is going to be based on my opinion as well as my experience, and also kind of doing some research within the community because there's a lot of different comps that are coming out right now, and that also includes Caramel Choux as well. So just keep that in mind. Of course, I would suggest this is going to be a general, tier list. So make sure to go and look at specific guides and topping settings and biscuit settings and substats and stuff like that in order to get the best results for your arena battles. But before we get into the metas and everything like that, let's go over the general tier list of where all the cookies are. So starting off with the D tier, of course, these are the cookies again that you just want to stay away from and not really use inside of the arena unless you just like these specific cookies, and that's going to be from Sonic all the way up to Tiger Lily here. And again, these cookies without magic candies, they're not going to be very viable inside of the arena right now just because of how outdated they are. Alright, and the next one is going to be the C tier. These guys are going to be just a little bit better than D tier, but still just honestly, like, they're mainly RNG. They just kind of suck right now. They're very outdated, and that's going to be from Candy Diver all the way to Cherry Blossom. The one that we're looking out for right now is, of course, going to be Strawberry Crepe. Again, Strawberry Crepe's Magic Candy will be coming out in less than 2 weeks, and that is really what we're mainly focusing on and what looking out for because, Strawberry Crepe was one of the OG tanks that we have had, and along with Holleberry, they were like the, literally the meta. So we're looking out for that one. And then from the B tier, it's going to be from Mantra all the way to Prophet. These guys are going to be a little bit, again, better than C tiers. They have their uses. They are still viable, especially all the supports are kind of still viable. But mainly, they're going to be lackluster in the performance because of their skills. They're really not suited for the arena anymore, or they were just not to begin with. Something like, kind of like Royal Margarine did have a comp, but not really a comp. And then like Tartatan also is very heavily focused on PvE section. Rye, Red Velvet, they're okay. I think Almond right now, we're going to actually move Almond up to A tier because of the fact that there are some Almond one-shot comps coming up here and there. But that's pretty much it that we have gotten. So we're going to leave it at that for B tier, guys. And then now moving on to the A tier, it's going to be from Madeline all the way up to Almond. And we have, all these cookies that are going to be viable. These guys are actually going to be viable inside of the arena until, I would say, Elite 3 or 4. And then it will start to get a little bit harder just because of the fact that starting from there, a lot of the players are using specific comps that are going to be designed to, be used for the arena. But these guys are great. They have good uses. I mean, of course, not everybody like Dark Cacao. Dark Cacao still has some uses. Crunchy Chip here and there too. But mainly all these tanks do have some sort of use. Light comp, attack speed comp, defense reduction, stun tanking, just sustain. And, all the damage dealers are still pretty decent too, with the supports like Eclair being really, really good. And I think from here, though, I am going to be moving up Linzer to the S tier just because of how good Linzer is. And there are still comps here and there being used with Linzer as well. So that is going to be the A tier. And with that, moving on to the S tier is going to be from Pattaya all the way to BTS. These guys are going to be cookies that are going to be pretty good. I mean, they're not bad. They're way better than these cookies up here, or down here, I mean. And they're going to be really, really good to use in specific situation. I would say up to maybe Elite 3, maybe stretching it to 2. You guys can still use some of these cookies. Of course, late after that, it's really going to be tough to use some of them just because of how just starting Elite 2, it's like where everybody is using really meta comps or like, comps that will counter specific comps. So just keep that in mind. But I would say great damage dealers, great supports, great tanks overall in general. All right. So you guys can definitely use them. But with that, let's get into the meta tier as well as the SS tier as well. All right, so starting with the meta, of course, we're going to still have Crimson Coral, Elder Fairy. I'm actually moving Hollyberry up with Financier, and then Burnt Cheese, Fettuccine, Revel. And then we have White Lily, Golden Cheese. We have Frost Queen, Black Pearl, Creme Brulee, Parfait, Snapdragon, as well as Icicle Yeti. All right, before I go into any of these, I want to talk about some of the cookies that are kinda falling off right now inside of the arena after the updates and things like that. And that is mainly going to be right here, Fettuccine, all right, as well as Creme Brulee. So these two are going to be the ones kind of falling off a little bit. Fettuccine mainly because we do have someone like Elder Fairy to do the taunting now and things like that. And then Creme Brulee, they're just, a lot of people are just using these four main damage dealers right now. So there is that as well. So these two, I would say watch out for them. Attack speed comps, Fettuccine attack speed with Creme Brulee attack speed is still being used here and there too. But just keep in mind these two are slowly falling off. And Hollyberry is actually coming up because of the uses with Elder Fairy. These two combos are actually really, really good. Of course, this can change if, Crepe gets a pretty good magic candy. But right now, I would say Rebel one-shot comps with Burnt Cheese one-shot comp 2 is really, really good. White Lily, Golden Cheese, Frost Queen, Black Pearl, they're still very, very, very solid damage dealers. Mainly, I would say the weakest one is going to be Black Pearl just because of the lack of, I would say, maybe a little bit of sustain the building wise as well. And then also, I would say a lot of people are heavily focusing on Black Pearl for the damage versus bypass. It's really what they're using it for. So there's that, but these three main damage that you will see in a lot of comps. And then, the supports are still good right here. Parfait, Snapdragon, and Icicle Yeti for certain comps. I would say Snapdragon's used the most, and then Icicle Yeti, Parfait are like, on par with each other. So that's pretty much what we have gotten for the meta tier. It hasn't really changed. I did say last time that we are looking out for Hollyberry, and then definitely Hollyberry isn't going to be in the meta. You guys can let me know what you guys think about Fettuccine and Creme Brulee as well for the meta tier. What you guys think? Do you think they deserve an SS tier soon, or right now? And let me know what you guys think. But let's get into the SS tier, and that's going to be Moonlight. We have Sea Fairy. We have Captain Caviar, Sherbet. We have Stardust, we have Pure Vanilla, Rockstar, and that is pretty much it. So Stardust, I'm bringing Stardust down again because, Stardust is mainly just going to, there is that counter to the, Elder Fairy comp, but that's pretty much it. Not much other things are being used right now, so that's where I want to put it. And I forgot something, we're actually bringing down Frill Jellyfish from SS tier to S tier. Because of the lack of kind of one-shot comp revolving around Frill Jellyfish. And I'm actually going to be putting up T-Knight because there are actually T-Knight one-shot comps, if you guys didn't know, being used inside of the arena. So it is a kind of a, it's not new. It's been used for a while, for a little bit, but it's starting to come up within the community. So I want to, recognize that and acknowledge that and just kind of put up T-Knight back into the SS tier as well. And that's pretty much what we have gotten for the tier list adjustment and things like that. Of course, now we have to add Butter Roll as well as Caramel Choux. I think Butter Roll is going to be more of an A tier just because of the skill, very simple skill and things like that. And then I would say I'm kind of debating where I should put Caramel Choux. In my initial review, Caramel Choux was very, very lackluster. Of course, it could be the fact that I have a 5-star promotion and I'm going up against more of the higher ranking players. And, Caramel Choux just doesn't have the stats to survive. Of course, 5-star Ascension will be a bit different with higher guild relics and things like that. Does make a difference inside of the arena. But and with that, of course, we're going to have comps come out, and I'm testing it out, and it's decent, it's working out, but of course it doesn't show the same result as having a 5-star Ascension. So I'm torn between whether I want to put Caramel Choux in the S tier or the A tier, because the skill itself is worth A tier, but I think if I compare it directly to someone like Peppermint, someone like Silver Bell, and someone like Cream Puff right now, I think Caramel Choux still does deserve S tier. But again, I don't think it's anything that you need to rush in actually building. I think it's better to go for someone like Parfait, someone like Snapdragon, and someone like Icicle Yeti to allow your comp to be more future-proof as of right now. However, if you're just starting off and you need that extra boost, Caramel Choux is actually not bad. And of course, even to the older players who are wanting to get a little bit of stat boost without the Ascension and use certain comps with Caramel Choux, I would say Caramel Choux is not terrible. And of course, I'll be sharing the comp with you guys later on as well. But again, I think I'm going to leave this up to you guys. I'm going to initially put Caramel Choux in S tier. You guys can let me know whether she deserves S tier or maybe A tier. I would say in between those two. I wouldn't really drop her further than that. But you guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's the tier list for April 2024. I'm saying April because we do have like 2 days left, less than 2 days left. Some of you guys, it's going to be 1 day left for March. All right. And then it'll be moving on to April. So that's pretty much what we've gotten for the updated tier list. Of course, I will update it when Street Urchin and Strawberry Craze Magic Candy comes out. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. If you guys have anything to add, talk about, discuss, you guys can leave it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.